Hi everyone, probably left this video a little bit late to do today. It's been a busy day, but I just have been thinking today, and I just thought I wanted to make one. Hope I don't trip up. I can't really see anything past my light. It's pretty bright in my eyes. It's probably a bit of a crap setup. First of all, apologies to Vaughan in Perth, Australia. Thanks for your message, mate. I haven't got a gimbal yet. I'm still on my tripod, and if you could see what's going on here, it's actually my head torch strapped to my tripod, and I'm just carrying it. And I'm not really, I did say at the beginning, these are not going to be high-tech videos because I'm just not really a high-tech fella, so I apologise about that. But thanks for your message, bud. Really appreciate it. Yeah, I've been doing some thinking today, and a conversation came to mind that I had a while ago now with a good friend of mine, a lovely lady. I was checking in, I was having a conversation with her boyfriend, ex-boyfriend, whatever it is, I don't know. But she came along and she said, I'm no longer doing the principles. I said, oh, that's interesting. She said, yeah, she said, I've started doing a meditation. I'm now doing a direct line to God, is what she said. I said, oh, right. I didn't say anything. I thought I just couldn't be bothered with having a conversation at that point, and I just listened to what they had to say, and we had a lovely chat, and it was really nice to speak to them both. But it was quite an interesting thing as I was reflecting on that comment. I'm no longer doing the principles. That statement is, and I'm not knocking anybody, please don't think I am. I could just hear a misunderstanding as to the nature of the principles as she was speaking. That statement, I'm no longer doing the principles, would be to suggest non-existence, to put it quite simply and bluntly. The principles aren't something you do, they're what we are. They're the fundamental essence of life. They're the fundamental essence of reality. They're the fundamental essence of experience. No one can do the principles. The principles do us, they live us. They're a metaphor, don't forget, they're just a metaphor, they're just a conversation, they're just words to describe fundamental principles. Somebody said to me the other day, why are they principles though, Dave? And I said, well, everybody you meet on the planet is a state of consciousness. That's a principle, it's a principle, it's a fundamental principle of life. Everybody we meet on the planet has the power of thought within them, as them, the infinite creative force. And we're all born of one divine intelligence, mind, what Sid called mind, what many cultures have called mind, not just Sid. So to say I'm no longer doing the principles is a bit of a misunderstanding. It may sound pedantic at this point, but it's a bit of a misunderstanding. And also this point, I'm now taking the direct line to God. The way I see that, a direct line, well, a line would have a beginning and an end. It would be from point A to point B, whether you draw it on a piece of paper, whether you draw it on a map, whether I was to walk in a straight line from here to over there. It would have a point A and it would have a point B. It would have a start and a finish. That doesn't exist. There is no direct line to God. It doesn't exist. It misses a fundamental point. And it suggests that God is somewhere other than exactly where we are stood, exactly where we are. It suggests that God is something other than what we are. Divine creative source, divine created beings, constantly creating an experience of life. If you look at reality, that's really what reality is. It's an experience. Not just this experience that Dave is having, but all infinite experience all at once. Infinite experience all at once. When you step back and you look objectively, you start to see there is infinite experience taking place in the now. God isn't something outside of us. I'm reminded as I speak about that of a beautiful man I once met. I was working in South Africa with Jen. It's been a beautiful day, look at that sky. I was working in South Africa with Jen and we went to our favourite restaurant. And I had some food left over and I thought, oh well, I'll find a homeless person and give it to them. I thought they'll appreciate that. And I remember, wasn't long, I was in Woodstock in Cape Town. It's not long before you find a homeless person in Cape Town. And I remember, I'm going to sit on these rocks. I love it up here. I'm just up behind where I live. You get the most glorious view from here, but you can't see anything at the moment because it's just a bit dark, even with my head torch. And I came across this man, and he was sat down on the street. I took one look at this man and my heart just melted. I felt so sorry for him. He was physically disabled. He was homeless. He was what they call in South Africa a Cape coloured man. I don't mean any offence by that word. I've been told off for saying that word before on a radio station, but that's how they describe themselves, and I'm not going to do them the injustice of calling them by some other name, because I wouldn't honestly know what name to call people anymore, in all honesty. But that's how they describe themselves. That's just to give an idea of this man. But it turns out this man's had a stroke. He's homeless and he's had a stroke. When he spoke with a deeper slur. I found him very difficult to actually understand to begin with until I got my ear in. I remember looking at this man and I felt such pity for him. Friggin' hell, I was like, you must have the shittest life. Physically disabled. You smell, in fairness. You're covered in food. You obviously haven't had a shower in God knows how long. My heart just broke for this man. I gave him my food and he received it and he said thank you. I said, oh, you're welcome. And he said to me, may I ask you your name? I said, yeah, you may. I said, my name's Dave. I said, may I ask yours? And he said, yes, my name's Ben. I said, thank you, Ben. He said, no, thank you, Dave. And Ben just smiled at me. And then he said something to me. He said, Dave, may I say, what a beautiful face of God you are. I said, thank you, Ben. I said, Ben, may I say to you what a beautiful face of God you are as well, mate. And he looked at me, he smiled, and he had this twinkle in his eye, and he said, I know. Poof! Hit me right in the heart. I know. In his broken, disabled, virtually incapable of walking state, physical state, this man shone. I sat down with Ben and we talked and we spoke. He talked about God. He saw God how I see God. God's within. We spoke about words of Jesus and stuff like that I've come to really respect. Not in a religious way, in any way whatsoever, personally. Sorry anyone, but I'm not a religious man. But I deeply respect the words such as, when he was asked, where is this kingdom of God? He said, the kingdom of God is within the heart of every man, woman and child. God's kingdom, the Creator, exists at the very centre of our being. Stands to reason, we create reality. We just haven't noticed. We haven't noticed that's what's been going on. I spoke to this man for a long time, and probably half an hour. And I fell in love with this man so deeply, so much so I'm still talking about him today, and this must have been 2006, 17, something like that. And I got up, and when I went to leave, I emptied my wallet of all the money that I had, which was about 60 quid in rand, and I gave it to him. And Ben just pushed the money back to me, and he looked me right in the eye and he said, Dave, no. He said, Dave, do you not see? It's not about money. It's not about that. It's about this. It's about connection. It's about people. It's about us. Another blow to the chest. Another blow to the heart. That man had everything he needed. He had everything that he needed. I have to admit that was a blow too hard for me, and I got up and I walked back to the car. I got in the car and I just cried. I just cried that I had the real privilege of meeting this man, this broken man who was whole. And I cried for about 10 minutes, which gave me enough time to kind of waddle his way up the street to where he looked through the window and saw Jenny, and he looked through and he just went, oh, what beauty, he said, what beauty. Shook his head, smiled and carried on walking. I'll never forget that conversation, and I'll never forget that man. That man had found God. He himself wasn't a religious man, but he'd found love. He'd found the unconditional love that underpins all things. The unified field, if you want to be a physicist, you want to talk physics, the unified field, quantum field. The unified field is love. The unifying feeling is love. Yeah, I just wanted to make this video tonight. I'm just trying to dispel some myths about the principles. I've seen many people come and go. Many people say it's nonsense. It's not nonsense. It's changed many people's lives. Many people have heard and many people haven't heard. And to those who haven't heard, it doesn't appear real. It's not their fault, it's nobody's fault. I feel really privileged that I heard what I heard, but I heard it from within myself. Whatever that was, because it wasn't words, I heard the feeling. The feeling of divine love that changes lives, like I spoke about in video 1. There is no direct line to God, because there is no point A and point B. There is only point A. We are an expression of the Creator. As above, so below. On earth as is in heaven, as they say. Yeah, all the powers that lie within heaven lie with us here on earth. because heaven is within the heart of every man, woman and child. We are the divine creator in action. Everybody is. Everybody on earth is. We're all the same thing, creating a different experience of life. And every single one of us is experiencing a reality that's real and illusory all at the same time. Real, why? Because it's our reality and it appears real. It's real. It's a real reality. It is an absolutely real reality as an experience. Why is it illusory then, Dave? Well, because we can all look at the same point on the planet and we can all have a different experience of it. We can all look at the same circumstance and disagree on it. Because all of our realities are real to us. But they're all illusory because they're unique, and they're unique experiences within ourselves. That's why Sid came along when he had his experience and pointed to something so important. He's pointed to truth. The old adage, truth will set you free. It's so true. So true. Not my truth. Not my ego trips. No. My ego trips won't set anybody free. They hold me captive. They're not going to set me free. Fundamental truth. Fundamental truth. What is truth? It's that unifies all people. Mind. Intelligence of all things. Everything is an idea of mind. Everything. Everything is born of it. The quantum field, call it the quantum field if you prefer, call it God, call it whatever you want. Consciousness. Well, this universal mind is conscious. It's aware of all things all at once. Because it is all things all at once. Thought. Universal thought. The power of thought. Everybody, everything is thought. We're all thought. That's how reality is created. It's dreamt into being. It's an experience like a dream. I honestly can't tell the difference between my dream states and my awake states most of the time. I could be dreaming right now, having this conversation with you. I wouldn't know. Truth. What those words point to, you'll find truth there. Don't forget, they're just words, just words, just words. And as Sid said, go beyond my words. Don't listen to my words. Go beyond my words. Go to what the words are pointing to. If I say the word rock, the word rock is not this hard object. Rock's a noise. The object, the noise is something that we all agree, so long as you speak English, and you agree that it is a rock and not a boulder or something like that. Rock is a noise. Go beyond the word to the object. It's a really beautiful night. Yeah, I just wanted to make that video. I just wanted to clear that up. If people are prepared to listen, there's some proper gifts in the principles. And for me it was the gift of life. The gift of the discovery of life. Just this. Magic. It's all magic. Thanks everyone. Thank you for clicking on this video. I'm Dave Elleray. I'm one half of Freedom Thinking. The other half being Jenny, my wife. Yeah, we send you all love and look forward to seeing you in your next video. Oh, could you please like and subscribe and comment and all that stuff? It apparently helps with YouTube. I don't know, but apparently it does. So if we could do that, that would be wonderful. That would really help us out. Thank you everyone.